Jonathan, would you like to share your insights on regulation by enforcement, and why is that even a thing, since it will definitely hinder the innovation and the growth that can happen in the US?
Yeah, definitely. You're seeing more and more projects that are going overseas, whether that be using overseas foundations for their release of their tokens, geo-blocking, who can buy the tokens, only giving access to accredited investors for these tokens. And that's not great. Obviously, we want to make sure that people are informed, that they avoid rug pulls, that these tokens actually have an actual real use. They're not just someone who spun up a ERC token and then was able to just take couple $1 million and peace out with it. You want to protect from that, obviously. But you are seeing people that are trying to comply with the law, and they're not finding any leeway. They're not finding any resources within the SEC. We just saw Polkadot, who came out and was working with the SEC for quite a long time, and they only offered it to accredited investors or people that were abroad, and they geo-blocked and they did all these things, and now they've come out and released and said that they've morphed into a non-security, whatever that means, which I agree with Nathan. That's not the correct analysis. It shouldn't be that the token itself is security. It's whether the transaction is a security. Is a security transaction. So that's one issue. But yeah, you are seeing that people going across, and what that's doing is that the everyday investor, the person who is just active in the space, who's in the US, isn't having access to this. The only people who have access to these tokens at the earliest stage, when they are the most valuable, when you can be the most influential as to the direction that the project takes as an owner, is all being held by people either abroad or VCs, which I don't think anybody really wants that to be the end result. I think that crypto really evolved from a collaborative environment of people who believe in a project. You buy a bunch of tokens, you get together with devs, you build on top of it, you build dApps on top of it. It's a process between the community. It's not just one developer. Obviously, a developer has to come first and be the initial release of that and be the initial guiding principle. But at a certain point, it becomes not the developer, it becomes the community and the people that are building on it and building their businesses and dApps on top of it and all these other things. In the case of the library, it became content creators who are trying to build on that. They're being affected right now. So that's the issue, is that it's really being a guard in the same way that traditional finance is, and only giving access to the elite and the people with a lot of money, the VCs, the accredited investors, the people abroad, and it's not giving access to people in the US who maybe are not accredited investors, who maybe are just active in the space, but now are missing out on these opportunities to really grow the space in the way that we want them to be able to.